spotted by Stuart Pearce in those anthems. Jude Bellingham, it's still chucking it down. He took off his tracksuit top and wrapped it around the mascot in front of him. The mascot's probably only about 3 years younger than he is, but what a gesture from England's main man, Jude Bellingham. Wales-Poland getting underway shortly. We'll keep you updated on Talksport, but here at Wembley, it's all about England. Interested to read in the Times this morning that France keeper Hugo Lloris felt England would have won the quarter-final of the World Cup had Kane scored his penalty. He felt we were playing better and his team, the French, had gone physically. We'll never know, but England do have a chance to put that right this summer. Give us the belief, Gareth. It's the last friendly before the Euro squad is picked, and a last chance for some to make that 23-man squad. England take on Belgium here at Wembley, live on Talksport with former England captain Stuart Pearce and Talksport's England commentator Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you. And whilst every England friendly is a means to an end, there has to be a chance that this one means the end of the road to Germany for some of those involved tonight. With 7 who you consider definites for the squad sidelined by injury, another 3 probables also missing, the maths would suggest that maybe only 13 of the 23 representing England tonight will be on the play. So whilst the business in hand is beating Belgium, the difference between outstanding and average individual performances could have far-reaching ramifications. Stuart, how many of the 11 this evening do you feel are in that boat? Their places in the squad not yet secure.
I'm seeing in the starting lineup, Jim, a 6-5 split. I think there's 5 players out there that have got a bit to prove tonight. A good performance tonight will certainly help their cause, and that's Bowen, Tony, Mainu, Dunk and Konsa. Those are the 5 for me in the starting lineup that probably a good performance tonight might just edge them in, a bad performance might edge them out.
Well, here's confirmation of the teams. Pickford in goal for England, Konsa making his full debut at right back, Stones partners Dunk and Chilwell plays at left back. Rice wins his 50th cap and Mainu is second on his first start, the youngest player to start for England since Jude Bellingham in June 2022. Ahead of them Bowen, Bellingham and Foden in support of Tony, whose first start comes a year to the day after his first cap. For Belgium, Nottingham Forest Sells is in goal. The back 4 of Castagna, De Baas, Vertonghen and Theat. Anana, Mangala and Tielemans in midfield with Doku and Trossard either side of Lukaku up front. It's also a noteworthy night for Gareth Southgate, his 150th England international, 57 as a player, 93 now as a manager. He's the first man to reach that milestone. Although Sir Alf Ramsey came close, it is some achievement for your old teammate, Stuart.
It's absolutely brilliant. As I say, what he's given to the international setup in England is absolutely wonderful. And listen, I know firsthand how unselfish he is as an individual.
So, England's last action before the squad is named for the Euros. The last chance for players to graduate from possible to probable and erase any question marks in the manager's mind. And on the back of Brazil, a chance to bounce back against another of the world's top 10. England on the front foot with an opportunity inside the opening moments for Tony, but he's handled it as a flashed cross came in from Jarrod Bowen, and Tony trying to get across the near post, felt that he was given a little shove, but the ball hit his hand, and it's a free kick to Belgium, which they'll take on the edge of their own 6-yard box. And from a concerning point of view for England, Jarrod Bowen, having crossed that ball, stayed down injured for a moment, just lost his right boot, which he's now replacing. I think he's going to be okay and able to continue, but that really was England on the front foot from the kick-off.
Well, it's probably one of the criticisms I had, apart from getting numbers into the box, the fact of we probably, when we had opportunities, didn't go after the Brazilians. And I was pleased to see Bowen then get the ball, turn and drive forward and put a good ball into the box.
Here come Belgium there, first attack of the night with Romelu Lukaku working the ball wide for Trossard, chipped in very deep. Konsa given the instruction to leave it by Pickford, which he does, and he goes out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by England, who are kicking from left to right. As Adrian said, officially it's dark raisin, the colour of the England kit. Belgium in their change kit as well, of sky blue with red shorts and white socks. England kick from left to right in the driving rain here in North London tonight, and Declan Rice is in possession.
Yeah, with Belgium just give a little hint that what the Brazilians did the other night, turnover of possession and looking at real threat on a semi-counter attack, and we'll have to be very, very mindful of turnover of possession and that counter attack when you look at the front three of this Belgium side.
It is an avenue that England have sometimes struggled to contain. They're keeping a high line on occasions with a ball that is played through the middle for a runner between centre halves. It's Lewis Dunk that partners John Stones tonight. It's Rice that has possession now, and he feeds Ezri Konsa in his second cap, having come on for the injured Kyle Walker inside the first half of the first half the other day against Brazil. Ball worked wide out towards Chilwell, who, as I mentioned earlier, starting back-to-back internationals for England for the first time since 2019. Here's Konsa. Right-footed ball chipped forward. Good run from Bellingham, who will come to meet it. Chested down, take it towards the right-hand touchline. Still under duress. It's a brilliant back-heel nutmeg that brought Bowen in, but he was in an offside position. But that really was what Jude Bellingham is all about.
Yeah, unfortunate there. I'm pleased to see us playing the ball forward. Good movement by Bellingham in between the left centre half and the left back, and a forward pass. I think sometimes we can be a little bit guilty of playing our way into the game a little bit too slowly. I prefer us when we're on high revs, Jim.
Now a result from elsewhere. Georgia have qualified for the Euros. They've beaten Greece on penalties. Finished 0-0 after 120 minutes. And Georgia winning 4-2 in the shootout in Tbilisi. So they have qualified, and they'll be in the group that contains Turkey, Portugal and Czechia. Wales against Poland underway. France, Netherlands and Austria, the potential opponents for Wales in that game. And Ukraine taking on Iceland in the other playoff tonight, with Belgium, one of the sides that is waiting to find out firsthand who they're going to be playing. Fast, looking to take a free kick quickly for Belgium, but the Austrian referee tells him that he was taking it for the wrong place. He'll have to come down towards the left-hand touchline and deeper inside his own half. So Georgia through. Wales against Poland, Ukraine against Iceland, both underway. This one is 4 minutes old, still 0-0. Belgium yet to have a really worthwhile touch of the ball in England territory. Fast played back to the centre half, Jan Vertonghen. He's played football here at Wembley for a bit when Tottenham were between homes in North London. Ball played out by Pickford to Declan Rice. And Rice will bring it forward now for England and quickly work it out towards the left-hand side for Chilwell. Takes a touch, comes back inside his own half for Lewis Dunk, who's now Brighton's most capped England international. And a mistake by Stones, has given it away, just stumbled. Lukaku playing it forward, but behind Leandro Trossard, behind Tielemans, should I say. And the possession is cleared by England, but not for long. It's one back. Trossard's got it now. Wearing 11 over on that far touchline. Mainoo's in there to stop a ball, finding Tielemans. Chilwell will be able to clear. That was a nervy moment, Stu, for John Stones, just caught in two minds, dallying in possession and then losing it.
Yeah, it was, and it probably goes back to the thought process for myself that sometimes I always like, when you're a defender, if you've got plenty of time on the ball, look forward and see if there's a forward pass available on distance. If there's not, then keep moving the ball, keep probing. I think we're looking to probe without looking for a pass anywhere over 20 yards, and John Stones just got caught in two minds there.
Fast out towards Jeremy Doku. On the left-hand touchline, the Manchester City man working it back inside his own half for Vertonghen. To his right is one of the least experienced players in the Belgian side, the centre-half Zeno de Bast of Anderlecht. Played forward to Anana, the Everton man, able to turn neatly in the midfield. Can't find a way through. Bellingham just frustrated with himself that he couldn't win possession back there and start an England counter, but Mainoo can, picking the pocket of Trossard. Then he lays it back. Rice, having to play a hurried ball, will be able to squeeze it to his right for Stones, and Stones immediately indicating over to the England bench as he played that pass. He's had an injury problem and just wonder whether his groin went. But it looks as though he's okay. He's not looking concerned now, but played that pass and immediately signalled with a raise of the right hand over to the England medical staff, and indeed they are getting ready now to give him any treatment if it's necessary. So they make their way towards the edge of the technical area. Play goes on for now. Rice with a long switch of play down towards Bowen, who's controlled it on his thigh, taking on Pearce, can't find a way past him, goes out of play for a corner. And Stones is going to make his way forward for it, so no immediate medical attention is necessary for Stones.
I think there will be a substitute straight away. Both coaches have looked round, and it's Gomez and Braithwaite both warming up vigorously. I think looks like maybe Gomez will be coming off. They'll make a change, no doubt.
So England to take this first corner. Phil Foden in towards the near post where he's looking for a Bellingham flick. And it's cleared with a defensive header back out towards the touchline. Foden can pick it up. Foden shown inside by his club teammate Doku. Maintains possession and plays it back for Konsa. Konsa to Foden again. Foden clipping it forward. Left-footed out towards the far side of the area. And then teased into the box, but a little bit too aerial. And it goes out of play off dunk for a goal kick to be taken by Belgium. This will be a huge blow, of course, for Manchester City as they chase a climactic end to their season, particularly ahead of the game against Arsenal this coming weekend. But England are going to be forced into a very early change. It's Joe Gomez who will be coming on in a moment. Stone's still there for now. Fast. Play forward towards Doku, and Doku sportingly side-foots the ball out of play so that Stones can make his way off the field here. Injured inside the opening 6 minutes for England.
Yeah, I can see Doku being very charitable. It's one of his teammates at Manchester City.
So while Stones is being attended to, let's find out what's been going on in the early stages of the game in Cardiff with Dean Saunders and Lawrence Mora.
It's Wales 0, Poland 0. 8 minutes on the clock here. It's been a pretty tight and tetchy start, both sides. Fairly cagey. Some big tackles rattling in. Keeper Moore already penalised a couple of times by the referee for jumping, which happened to him on Thursday against Finland. And it's a heck of an atmosphere. Very nervy. But with 8 minutes gone, it remains Wales 0, Poland 0.
Lawrence, thank you very much indeed. Still 0-0 as well in the early stages of the game between Scotland and Northern Ireland. Let's get an update now from Talksport's David Tanner.
9 minutes gone at Hampden Park. It's Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 0. Scotland have a free kick, and Scott McTominay has just fired it into the wall, and Northern Ireland can clear the danger, and that's been the best chance of the game for Scotland so far, other than a long distance effort from Ryan Christie, which went just past the right hand post of Billy Peacock Farrell. Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 0.
Thank you, David. So England making the change. Stones off and Joe Gomez on, and he's playing it right back. They move Konsa into the middle, and Gomez continues at fullback. John Stones making his way down the tunnel for a treatment in the dressing room. England restore possession to Belgium after Doku put it out of play. Now Doku finding fast, ball forward, it's half clear, back out towards Doku around the edge of the D. England getting the bodies in there, can't stop Lukaku being able to get on the end of it. Trossard trying to play his way through. England continue to appeal for an offside flag that hasn't come up. Chilwell eventually in the right place to be able to get it away. And now Pickford will continue the clearance, and it's just passed it straight through the midfield for Anana, and a shot comes in from distance to give Belgium the lead. Yuri Tielemans from the edge of the area is so eminently preventable. England just haven't got going at all. They've lost a centre-half to injury, and they've just lost their focus on the back of it. Tielemans passing the ball into the unguarded net. It's a horrible error for Jordan Pickford, and Belgium lead.
Yeah, the whole passage of play started by a good press by England, to be fair. Tony and then Bellingham and Bowen pressed really well, and there was only a straight ball on into Doku's feet, and Gomez had to be touch tight. You've got to be in the winger's shorts as such when it's played forward. He wasn't. Doku turned, and from that moment on, the passage of play got very, very scruffy, and England giving the ball away, dealing with a problem. Pickford ended up trying to find, I'm not sure who, and Tielemans hit it back across Pickford. He was running and trying to cover the goal.
Tielemans was outside the Pickford was outside the left-hand side of his box as he played that low ball through. I think he was looking to try and skin one in towards Bellingham maybe, but completely misjudged it, and it fell for Tielemans. And then Pickford scampered back. Tielemans, knowing he was going to have to run as quickly as he could, just hit it back across Pickford's flight path and into that bottom left-hand corner of the net. Pickford wrong-footed, and Belgium lead. Tielemans has only scored 6 goals for Belgium, and 2 of them now have come against England. He scored a winning goal in an FA Cup final here, and he scored the goal that has given Belgium the lead tonight. 12 minutes gone on Talksport, and it's England 0, Belgium 1.
In all honesty, Jim, on what I've seen with the way Doku turned there and spin past Gomez, I would be feeding Doku all night if I was the Belgian players.
Elsewhere, Germany 0, the Netherlands 1. Joey Veerman has scored that goal. Germany with a very good chance to equalise, I understand, as we speak, but it's still 1-0 to the Netherlands at the moment. The ball out of play for a throw that will be taken by the Belgians in the right-back position, leading by a goal to 0. They've come into this on the back of an unbeaten run of 12. They've won 8 of those and still haven't lost the game since Domenico Tedesco took over. And the side have got off to the perfect start tonight. Germany have taken that chance, incidentally. Germany 1, the Netherlands 1. Max Mittelstadt with the equaliser. England try to press. Belgium will play their way out from the back and find Fass. Fass rolling it up the left-hand touchline. Gomez there, touch tight to Doku, who just dropped deep and received possession. Tielemans with a great spin in the midfield away from Rice. Doku lost it, the ball hit his foot, and Rice was able to get to the loose ball first. England then work it back towards Konsa. And Konsa picks it up again inside his own half. England trailing. Haven't had back-to-back defeats at Wembley since 2013, when they lost successive matches here to Chile and Germany, who were both in the top 10 of the world at the time. Belgium 9th in the world in both sets of world rankings at the moment. England down to 7th in the yellow rankings after their defeat to Brazil the other night, but 3rd in the FIFA list right now. As Gomez finds Lewis Dunk. Dunk driving it forward straight into Declan Rice, who was waiting for the ball to sail over his head, and it didn't. He just carried straight into his midriff.
It was good movement there by Chilwell, who dragged the fullback in and allowing space for Foden, but the pass was so poor, it's just cannoned off Declan.
Well, those are thoughts of the former England captain Stuart, Pearce, part of the Talksport commentary team. Bellingham's a good ball forward, a big chance here for Ivan Toney. Was he brought down from behind? Yes, he was. And England have a penalty. Great run, goal side of Vertonghen, who couldn't deal with the pace and wags an admonishing finger at the referee. Doesn't like the decision, which the VAR will still have to ratify. But England had the chance to equalise from the spot.
Once again, great play there by Mainu. Turned and went forward, prodded a great ball forward, and then the movement by Toney was exquisite. He got himself across the face of the defender. Now, toss a coin and you tell me whether it's a penalty or not. I don't think it will be overturned, but I've got to say Ivan Toney's movement there is superb. Mainu turning and playing forward with a probing pass. Good play as well.
And one of the features of Ivan Toney's game that has been such a success over the years is his ability from the penalty spot. It's something that has been cited in this Toney versus Watkins battle for who will make the squad. And Toney has the chance on his full England debut to score his first goal for his country. The VAR is still having a look at the incident, incidentally. It's Manuel Schuttengruber who is the official who's looking at events retrospectively. Vertonghen on the lunge and become extremely close to playing part of the ball. But seemingly the check is over. So it's Ivan Toney against Matt Sells. Toney, who seldom missed a penalty in his professional career. He's only 2. And has the chance to score his first goal for his country. In the driving range, he just uses his shirt to dry his face and focus. Sells bobbing up and down on his line, throwing his Hands out like a demented dancer at the hacienda. Here is Tony. Sends the keeper the wrong way. And England are back level. The first international goal of Ivan Toney's career. And it's 1-1.
I've got to say, Tony's helped create it. He's won the penalty and he's put it away with absolute class, I've got to say. And just what England needed, to be fair. I think they were shaken by the Belgium goal so early on in the game. John Stones obviously being replaced early. They've not had a good start. They needed something to give them a lift, and certainly Mainu and Tony have done that for them.
And on 17 minutes a goal for England's number 17. So it's first for his country, just 27 minutes into his international career. 1-1 the score. The lead lasted just 6 minutes, and that will just allow England to regain their focus. Konsa playing it back for Pickford. Controls the ball by the penalty spot, plays it out towards Joe Gomez. There's going to be plenty to react to after an England performance, there always is, and your views on what the pluses and minuses are, and the makeup or potential makeup of Gareth Southgate's squad will more than welcome. Of course, when we're done here tonight, Jason Cunley and Carlton Cole are on the full-time phone-in. Tomorrow morning, Andy Townsend and Ali McCoist are with you from 6. If you fancy something different on your morning commute, you can be sure to check out the Chris Evans Breakfast Show, weekdays from 6:30 on Virgin Radio, which you can listen to on DAB or by downloading the app. 1-1 inside the opening 20 minutes tonight here on Talksport. Let's go back to Cardiff. Lawrence Mora.
Where it's Wales 0, Poland 0, 18 minutes on the clock, but Wales have just had their first real opportunity. Corner from the right-hand side, swung into the 6-yard box. Ben Davies was the man who got big and strong, but his header just over the bar as a pile of 5 or 6 players all collapsed to the floor. A right old curmudgeon. 18 minutes on the clock, it's Wales 0, Poland 0.
And still Ukraine 0, Iceland 0. Georgia making it through on penalties against Greece earlier tonight. Declan Rice in possession here for England. Back on level terms after that opening goal from Yuri Tielemans. Well, England have got a very good defensive record in the first half of games. Only 9 of the last 27 goals they've conceded have come before half-time. Tended to drop off defensively in the second half of matches, but conceding an early one here tonight. Only the third in their last 12 home friendlies, but the second in just a few days. Here's Ben Chilwell. Play back through the centre circle for Ezri Konsa. Konsa to Mainu. Mainu, great ball forward between the lines. Tony actually didn't quite read it in time and was on the stretch to try and bring it under control. Tielemans then on the quick counter-attack will play down towards Doku. Doku herring away from us, turns it onto his right foot. Pickford with a good save. Beat it through a crowded penalty area back to safety, and Foden is back in defensive duty to pick up possession and then lay it back to his goalkeeper who can clear. England then on the counter will work it out towards Tony. Maynard will make a run ahead of him. And he's got Bowen in support of his right-hand side, and he's found him. Now to his right is Bellingham. Bellingham, right-footed effort straight into that pass. And that was a move that was reminiscent, really, of a lot of the early days of Gareth Southgate's England reign. Turning possession over deep inside their own half and hitting the blistering counter-attack.
Yeah, once again there, Tony doing exactly what he does for Brentford in the Premier League. A good focal point to start attacks, got his chest on the ball and off he went from there. And as you say, it was a good counter-attack. Just prior to that, Jim, Doku once again scaring the life out of Gomez at present, you know, and he is any fullback's biggest nightmare. You have got to get so close to him and almost get first contact on that ball before he starts twisting and turning.
So Bellingham comes out a little bit deeper and feeds up Mainu, still showing for it. Ball chipped over the top, Bowen making a run off the right flank, almost to inside left to try and attack that. Belgium get it away to Rice, and Rice goes back for dunk on halfway. 1-1 the scoreline here at a sodden Wembley. Konsa playing it forward. Rice back out of the England left-hand side for Chilwell. Foden showing for the ball in the midfield and able just to dance into possession and flick it with his right foot past the Russian challenger Banana. Every England outfield player in Belgian territory as the centre-halves exchange passes again. Konsa to Dunk. Now forward towards Mainu. Mainu trying to bulldoze his way through, Foden making a run ahead of him. Belgium won it back, but they don't have it back for long. poking forward towards halfway where England can mop up with Conte. Now it goes out towards the left-hand side again for Declan Rice. 22 gone, 1-1 here at Wembley on Talksport.
I'm seeing at the moment, Jim, I'd be tempted to swap Conte and Gomez over, and put Conte back at full-back, and Gomez, who's quite happy playing in the centre of defence, slot him in there just to deal with Doku, because on what I've seen so far, Doku's the one who's going to make them tick.
Our producer here at Wembley, Declan McCarthy, has just given me a fantastic statistic. Ivan Toney, first player to score a penalty on his first England start since... Who? I'll give you a clue, it was before I was born. But after you were. Don't cut it down much, I'll give you that. Here's Conte bringing it forward again. Played to his left-hand side for Declan Rice. It was Alan Clark, sniffer against Czechoslovakia, as they then were at the 1970 World Cup. So 54 years ago almost. Tielemans going square through the middle again, looking for Lukaku's ball, looking for Lukaku's run, coming out and knocking it away, and the fast will play back away to the right-hand side for Nottingham Forest's Matt Sells. Chips it down towards the far touchline where it's brought under control by Stuart Castagna. And it goes out of play for a throw that would be taken over on the Belgian right-hand side. 23 minutes gone, England 1, Belgium 1. Belgium have actually won 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two nations, including the last one, which was a behind closed doors game on Belgian soil in the Nations League. Beat England as well twice in the 2018 World Cup. England fielded a much changed side on both occasions. One was a group game where in many ways it gave England an advantage to lose it because they'd finished second in the group and get a more favourable draw. The other was in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. Here's Trossard getting it forward towards Onana. Mangala, Onana again. Now Jan Vertonghen. 300 Tottenham games behind him, but now in his second season at Anderlecht. First club he's ever played for in his homeland. Castagna to the pass. Right-footed ball driven by him over halfway. And now brought down under control on the right-hand side of the centre circle here by Joe Gomez. It's 1-1. As Conte plays it back through the midfield.
What England need to do on the build-up here, whenever you stop a picture on the build-up, and we're just inside, as we are at the moment, in our own half, 10 yards inside our own half, no pressure on the ball, the shape of the team should look 2-3-5. We should have 5 players in our front line, basically. Now, how you get that 5 is quite often the 2 wide players tucking in near the centre forward and both fullbacks going as high as humanly possible into the front line. I think on occasion we're not doing that and not getting enough players forward, so we have too many players too deep in the build.
Stoke's got possession here for England. What needs to happen to change that? Is that just an instruction from the coaching staff to take more responsibility to get forward?
Well, I think you've got a situation where Chilwell edges forward because he's an attacking fullback.
Teat came out and committed himself, bone down the right hand side of the area. Bellingham can wrap his foot around it and the ball ends up on the roof of the net. It was a great ball in from Bellingham. It was attacked by Foden and just deflected onto the roof of his net by the Bast. It was a close run thing. He's going within about 6 inches of steering that in for an own goal.
Well, now he's got that. I mean, Bowen's ended up playing the ball probably slightly too hard for Bellingham. Bellingham's done brilliant to pull it back. The Bast as well. How he's got that above the crossbar, I do not know.
Foden taking the corner. It's England's second. It's deep towards the far post. The back post, Rice heading it in to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Jared Bowen swivels, flicks his head at it, and he too scores his first goal for England. And 15 minutes after going behind, England now lead by 2 goals to 1. Toney and Bowen with their first for their country.
Well, really good, fantastic there. I think it was Dunk at the far post who ended up heading it back, and I think this might get chalked off for offside, believe it or not. it's going to be very, very tight. I hope not. I've criticised England for their set plays not being effective, and it's good to see us get on the score sheet.
Well, England players will make their way back inside their own half now, but it does look to me that he was offside as the ball came in at the far post. Belgium still waiting for the restart from the centre circle rather than from the edge of the 6-yard box, but I, like you, am expecting that this one is going to get disallowed.
Yeah, really well worked corner kick, whether it's chalked off or not. As I say, ball to the far post, Dunk with his physical presence nutting it back, and then the movement of Bowen just flicking back off the goalkeeper, but I don't think he's moved back quickly enough. I hope I'm wrong. Certainly England have reacted very well to going a goal down.
Yeah, he's going to be disallowed. 1-1, the goal chalked off. I have to admit, I thought it was even more cut and dry than that. It took a good few seconds to work out that he was offside. And I both thought from the immediate view from the edge of the 18-yard box that it was. So it remains 1-1. But there has, as you say, been a really good response from England and plenty of encouragement. Had the ball in the net from a close offside, very nearly profited from what would have been an own goal. So 3 decent chances created in the last 15 minutes or so. But 1-1, the score remains. The ball out of play for a throw which will be taken on the right-hand side by Gomez. And looking at the replay, he's a yard offside. And his leg, his right foot, a yard offside. Here's Foden, getting the ball down the line for Chilwell. And Chilwell trying to get it down towards the byline, and Steve won a corner nose, a little double ricochets. Well defended in the end by the sliding Castagna. And it goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Belgium. 28 gone, England 1, Belgium 1.
I think we're staring down a similar game to the Brazil game. A Belgium side that find it very difficult when we play in the advanced areas and play off them and run beyond them. Similar to the Brazilian game, I think we hurt them. But the trouble is we didn't get the ball forward quickly enough, with numbers enough to hurt them. And the advanced parts of both teams, both Brazil and Belgium, is their strongest parts of their team.
And France are losing in their latest friendly. Struggled without Griezmann the other night, and beaten by Germany, now 1-0 down against Chile with a goal from Nunez. 1-1 in this one. Wales still 0-0. Ukraine against Iceland 0-0. We'll be back in Cardiff in a moment. Scotland in their game still goalless against Northern Ireland as well. There's Jeremy Doku. Can't find a way past Maynard on the slide. Ball goes out of play for an England throw. Let's quickly go back to Cardiff. Lawrence Moore.
Where it is, Wales 0, Poland 0, 29 on the clock. Wales causing havoc on set pieces so far. Kiefer Moore has headed wide. Ben Davis just over a moment ago. A flick at the front post from a long throw-in by Joe Rodon. And there, Kiefer Moore, if he just anticipated the back post, he would have had an opportunity, but the ball just evaded him. 29 gone, it remains Wales 0, Poland 0.
And in the other playoff, Iceland have just taken the lead against Ukraine in Wrocław. In Poland, Gudmundsson with that goal. Here's Bowen bringing the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Tries to drive it in right-footed. It cannons away to Ben Chilwell. Chilwell back outside the penalty area for Gomez. Gomez down the line for Bowen. Bowen with a quick injection of tempo to make sure that he got there first ahead of Leandro Trossard. Gomez tries to fire it in. The England substitute just smacking it straight into Trossard. And then Tayat can't get it away. Bowen again, taking it down towards the corner. He's in there with a luncheon challenge. It's out of play for an England throw, which has been taken quickly. Ball worked through the midfield to Jude Bellingham, wearing 10. He's playing it out towards the left-hand side for Ben Chilwell here for England. The play has almost exclusively been in Belgian territory in the last 7-8 minutes or so. Foden playing it back here for Rice. Now to Gomez. Rice once more inside the centre circle. Foden coming short to meet him. Romelu Lukaku is going there with him. Lukaku, whose goal scoring record for his country has been exemplary. You consider that Cristiano Ronaldo is the all-time leading European international goal scorer with 128 at this stage of his international career. Lukaku is way ahead of him. 34 goals ahead. So still plenty of time for Lukaku to end up getting past Ronaldo's record. It's another 46, but still only 30. All played through the midfield. Foden, it's not well. Foden driving forward. Now Jarrod Bowen to his right-hand side. England turning it on to the left foot, and Bowen still waits for his first international goal because he's curved that one high and wide at the top left-hand corner. 1-1.
Once again, wonderful ball into Ivan Toney, and his hold-up play and set-up play has been absolutely superb. He's been involved in maybe 3 or 4, but they've been so critical, and he's been a brilliant focal point so far for England.
And they're putting the press on again. Missing a glorious chance. Ball played out by the goalkeeper Sells into the midfield. Mainu did brilliantly. He came and put the pressure on. The loose ball ricocheted away. Anana, the man that was embarrassed, but Bellingham fired over the bar.
Well, I think the Belgians hoping certainly that this would have been ruled out as a free kick, but I'm not sure it was, and that's probably one of the biggest misses Wembley's ever seen.
Bellingham coming onto it from the left-hand side of the penalty area. Pretty much an unguarded goal to try and hit. And he put it significantly over the bar. Jude Bellingham, who has, up to this point, still only scored 2 goals in his international career. One in Scotland, one against Iran in the World Cup, so still waiting for his first England goal on English soil. Belgium got possession back and then give a free kick away on halfway. It's Mangala, the player that has been penalised. There's been a goal at Hampden Park. David Tanner.
33 minutes gone, and it's Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 1 with their first attempt at goal. And it's a first international goal for Liverpool's Conor Bradley. A goal made in Merseyside and finished in Merseyside. It was a mistake by Nathan Patterson of Everton, and a tremendous finish into the top right-hand corner by the Liverpool youngster. Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 1.
So 1-0 Northern Ireland leading there. Wales game 0-0. Iceland leading their playoff against Ukraine. Georgia already through. 1-1 between Germany and the Netherlands in one of the high-profile international friendlies tonight. This one here at Wembley is 1-1 on Talksport as well, with Phil Foden bringing the ball forward. His left-hand side is Bellingham. Now it goes out towards Chilwell. Chilwell's left-footed ball inside the box, headed away easily by De Bast. Ball down by Mainu. Now to Declan Rice. And calming things down at the back. And they've played the game at a decent tempo. Better tempo tonight in many ways than a lot of the game the other night. Bellingham in towards Bowen. Bowen looking for a return ball. Might break Tony's way on the edge of the penalty area. He slid and he couldn't quite get there. Now Belgium on the counter-attack. Tielemans with a high ball over the top that piques Lukaku's interest, and he's going to get there first. He's got it on the right-hand side of the penalty area, and a flying header gives Belgium the lead. Lewis Dunn beaten by Romelu Lukaku. Left-footed ball chipped inside the penalty area, and Tielemans is on the double. Flying far post diving header. England undone on the counter-attack. It's England 1, Belgium 2.
Yeah, brilliant counter-attack there by Belgium, but I've got to say, Dunk wasn't beaten by Lukaku. Dunk beat himself, I'm afraid. He was panicking that Lukaku was coming in behind him. He was favourite to deal with the ball. He just had to stay on his feet and deal with the situation. He panicked, he went to ground, and I've got to say, Lukaku's pass outside of the foot was magnificent. We've really seen some good attacking play in the game tonight.
Lewis Dunk almost able to stab the long ball away. Had a little nibble at it. He got it about 2 or 3 feet away from him, then stumbled and had another crack at flicking it away. But Lukaku was the beneficiary of it, and the pass, as Stuart said, was divine. Tielemans with a flying, diving far post header. And Belgium lead it by 2 goals to 1. Yuri Tielemans has got them both. Got 1 goal in his last 32 internationals before tonight. Over the last 3.5 years, but he scored twice in 25 minutes here at Wembley.
I've got to say, Lukaku wrapped that up, gift wrapped to him in the ball that he played across the face of goal. Magnificent.
Tielemans almost able to repay the favour there. Lukaku making a good run forward. It's a poor pass from Tielemans. It goes through for Jordan Pickford. 2-1 to Belgium.
I think at this moment in the England back four, both Dunk and Gomez looking very, very nervous.
Now Chilwell driving forward. Tony with a clever little layoff. Played outside the box towards Declan Rice. Rice back for Jude Bellingham. Foden. Mainu. Out on the England left-hand side, they'll bring it forward again. Bellingham again, trying to turn. Tony is waiting near the penalty spot, making a run, then having to dart back. Bellingham bringing the ball forward. Rice is involved. Foden's there too. It's all got very congested at close range. Chilwell swings the ball in towards the far post, but Tony are coming to a more central area. And that means that it should be easy for Trossard to clear towards the edge of the penalty area, knocked away by Tielemans. And Tielemans plays it out towards the right-hand side for Timothy Castagne. Well, it could have been so different. The own goal attempt, if you like, which just ended up the clearance that just went over the bar onto the roof of the net. From the resulting corner, England had the ball in the net, but it was correctly ruled out for offside. And Bellingham with that gilt-edged miss after great play from Mainu to harry the error out of Onana, and moments later at the other end, Belgium on the counter-attack scoring. So it's 2-1 to Belgium, but it could potentially have been so different. Ball headed back by the goal scorer Tielemans down towards Jan Vertonghen. Vertonghen tries to clear and smacks it straight into Ivan Toney. Onana off balance, is able to get it away. Tielemans then for Mangala, and now the Bast inside his own penalty area can calm things down and play it out towards Castagne. Let's go back to Hampden Park. David Tanner.
Still Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 1, thanks to Liverpool's Conor Bradley with a goal. But a worry for Liverpool and Scotland. Captain Andy Robertson has just limped up the tunnel. He was down a couple of times injured, and he is now off the pitch, replaced by Lewis Ferguson, the Bologna captain. Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 1, 38 played.
Now 2 on to Belgium here, with Jared Bowen laying the ball back. Gomez to halfway for Conte. Conte to Bellingham. Now to Declan Rice. With the yellow captain's armband around his left arm. Very proud moment for him on his 50th appearance for England. Conte back for Jordan Pickford. Pickford taking a touch and waving players forward. He's midway between the edge of his penalty area and the halfway line. And then side-footing the ball through the midfield towards Rice. Rice to Mainu. Mainu doing really well, taking the ball on the turn and then feeding Jared Bowen. Bowen goes back towards halfway. Bellingham's got it now. Rice, Mainu, again able to turn. Seeing that Bowen is ahead of him, trying to squeeze it through for Bellingham instead. Tedesco, the Belgian coach, pointing and directing operations from the edge of his technical area. Ball down towards Bowen again on the England right-hand side. Teat doing his best to stop the run. He did enough actually, because by the time Bowen got there, the ball had just gone out of play. Tielemans defending well, stopping Bowen getting a clean cross inside the penalty area. And it goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by the Belgians with 5 minutes to go to half-time. England 1, Belgium 2.
I think a lot of the good work that I'm seeing from England has set up, so either the ball into Ivan Toney's feet, into Bellingham, or directly into the likes of Bowen. And then once we get turned, and Mainu's done extremely well in doing that type of play, we've looked a threat.
Plays the ball forward down the left-hand touchline. Mainu, good play from Gomez, has got the ball back at his feet, and then he will take it on, and Onana, having a couple of nibbles at him, eventually got his man and brought him down. It's a free kick to England in a promising set-piece position. This is level with the right-hand side of the box and about 4 yards outside the penalty area. A free kick given by the Austrian referee. Mainu, we talked about his mature performance the other night, and I think it's worth reiterating. It's only 4 months ago today that he made his full Premier League debut for Manchester United, with 23 senior club games behind him. But whilst others have looked panic-stricken at times in a dark raisin shirt, Mainu certainly hasn't.
No, he certainly hasn't. He showed that against Brazil, and if you're going to make your debut in 2 games, Brazil and Belgium, if you can deal with that, you can deal with anything in world football.
He's waiting on the edge of the D here. Declan Rice is going to be the England player that will take this free kick. So Rice preparing to swing it in, raises his left arm above his head, and it's too close to the goalkeeper's cells, who just has to take a couple of steps forward to make an easy catch.
We're right behind that free kick. He should be shooting for the near post there. The goalkeeper's set himself way off centre, waiting for the cross. His deck, he should have, with the violence and the whip that he's got in his feet, he should be looking to score at the near post there, I think.
And France have turned it around in their game against Chile with goals from Fofana and Kolomuani. And it's 2-1 now. France 2, Chile 1. Switzerland leading Ireland by a goal to nil. Germany 1, the Netherlands 1. And the other friendlies, and as we've been hearing from David Town, Northern Ireland leading Scotland 1-0. Sliding challenge on Jarrod Bowen, wins it back from Lukaku. Nana playing it forward. Nana down to the left-hand side for Théat, who plays his club football in France for Rennes. He had a spell in Serie A with Bologna. Menu back down towards Gomez. Gomez trying to get away from Doku's challenge. He's managed that, and then a pretty industrial challenge comes in on him. And England continue to be able to bring the ball forward. Play's going to have to stop though, because Onana has hurt himself in making the challenge on Gomez. There's no foul by the England man, but Onana is down. He's holding his head, and Gomez might need a little bit of treatment as well. That gives us the opportunity to nip back to Cardiff. Here's Lawrence Moore.
Wales 0, Poland 0, 42 on the clock, and Wales really dominant in terms of possession and creating chances. Moments ago, a threaded ball by Brennan Johnson, and Harry Wilson almost onto it, just couldn't quite stretch out a leg, but it remains Wales 0, Poland 0.
Nana down because he got caught just by the stumbling Joe Gomez, who, as he tried to hurdle him, just caught him with his left foot around the side of the face. So this could be a lengthy stoppage, depending on whether Onana needs to be patched up, or whether it's just a bang to the face and he's okay. Looks as though it might be the latter, actually. England with a lot of thinking to do, and there have been positive elements to this first 45-minute performance, and you could say that in many departments they've been better than they were against Brazil, but the problem is they're trailing because of two very injudicious, eminently preventable goals.
Well, all the good stuff's been in the front half of the pitch, it's fair to say, Jim, and the good performances. You know, Bowen's done well, Tony's done well, Manu's done well, and we've done well in the front edge of the pitch. It's in that back line a little bit. We've looked a little bit nervous on the build-up, and certainly nervous in regard to the 2 goals we've conceded on poor play, and that's something that sort of we've mentioned going into these 2 friendlies, to be honest with you.
Here's Théat under a little bit of pressure by Jarrod Bowen. He's looked for his goalkeeper and found him, although he very nearly presented an opportunity to Ivan Toney. Nana incidentally is okay. He's back on the field and patrolling the engine room again. Belgian number 6. There's a play for throw will be taken by the visitors over on the far touchline, just about to go into stoppage time at the end of this first half, and the 4th official Harold Lettner indicates that there will be 3 additional minutes. We're in them now. Stanley preparing to take a throw over on that far side. Belgium's recent good run against England, they'd only beaten the Three Lions once in 21 attempts, which was back between the wars in a friendly in 1936. But England, as we've touched upon over the last few days, have this inability to be able to get really good victories against the best teams in the world. They've only had 2 against the top 6 in the Elo rankings in the 6 years since Gareth Southgate took charge. One of those here actually against Belgium. Belgium were ranked number 1 in the world at the time. Down at number 9 now. Here's Menu. Bring the ball forward towards halfway. It's 2 on to Belgium tonight. Bellingham with a layoff. Gomez will be able to bring it forward. Although England's response to conceding the first goal was very creditable, they haven't had anything like as much attacking play in the minutes since they went 2-1 down. Bellingham. Rice will take over, gets away from Yuri Tielemans. Down towards Gomez on the right-hand side of the penalty area. His ball in, brought down by Bowen on the edge of the box, and he can feed it through towards Bellingham. He squeezes a shot in, and Sal's dives away to his right-hand side to make the save.
good play there by England, and what I like about that setup and the build-up, we've got 3-4 players in the box in critical areas. It's man for man in there, and then you've got a chance of getting on the ball, as Bellingham did, and his whip shot probably just lacked some power.
But that was better from England. First really meaningful attack that they've been able to post in the last 5 minutes or so. Still trailing by 2-1. Rice, Bellingham inside the centre circle, now threads it through Bowen. He's got options either side of him. He's got the goal, and Sells this time dives to his left to make the save. So 2 sides of goal in the space of 30 seconds coming up to half-time, but sounds equal to both of them.
Yeah, good play there, and it's players turning and playing forward passes, which I like England doing, and they've done that really, really well. And Bowen's looking as though he's enjoying his evening's work.
It's half-time in Cardiff, it's 0-0, and we'll get the full details from Lawrence Moore and Dean Saunders at the conclusion of the first half here at Wembley. Bowen stays down after Tayat caught him as Bowen laid the ball off. He's going to be okay, he's going to get back to his feet in a moment. Mainu is, well, I thought won a throw, he thought won a throw. The assistant referee was much better placed than I and has given it the other way. And Doku's going to leave it for Tayat to take, and that will probably be the last action of the first half. Indeed it is. Individual errors, I'm afraid, have proved extremely costly. Yuri Tielemans has scored twice, either side of an Ivan Toney penalty, and England at fault for both of the goals. Firstly, Jordan Pickford, Lewis Dunk for the second. Toney's well-taken penalty, which he himself had won, had got England back in the game 6 minutes after conceding the opening goal. But individual errors are the headline act in that first half. England 1, Belgium 2.
And as Jim said, 0-0 in Cardiff will be there very shortly. But Stuart Pearce, I'm still trying to work out how Jude Bellingham has missed that chance. You said it's one of the worst misses at Wembley, and it was. He's really just hit the target, and it's going to hit the back of the net. It's going to be a goal.
Yeah, I think he's opened his body out. The goalkeeper sort of read it and gone to his left-hand side, and then I think at the last minute he's decided to close his foot and attempt to go to the near post, which was the right thing to do, but just put too much power on it and skied it. It was a poor miss for him.
It was. He hit his face with his shirt. But really, it's been about the problems at the back for England, and there have been some huge problems as well. Early on in the game, defensively, Stones goes off, injured. May well be a problem for Manchester City. Come the Arsenal game on Sunday. Sunday session will be there on Talksport. Carl Walker's probably going to miss that as well, as I understand it. Gomez came on, went to right back. Konsa goes into centre back. Gomez instantly gets completely rinsed by Doku, and we look at shambles once Doku's flying down the left-hand side. However, somehow the ball ends up at Jordan Pickford's feet, and it seems there's no danger. He can either, he's got time, nobody's challenging him, he can pick a pass or just simply clear the ball, even into touch if he wants. He passes it to a Belgian who scores. That's just a basic mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, to be fair, and both the goals are basic mistakes, literally that. And as I say, that is the worry. Are we good enough to defend our way to a trophy, was the statement I made before Brazil. And over the 1.5 games that we've seen at the moment, there are question marks. I think it's times like this when people start to question the likes of Maguire all the time. You've got to understand that, you know, Maguire's pretty solid in what he does. You know what I mean? It's not until someone else comes in and takes his shirt and makes the odd mistake you think, well, maybe Maguire's not too bad then.
So tell me what was going through Lewis Dunk's head, because he's got to the ball first. I know Lukaku's chasing him and he'll know that as well. For some reason he seems to go to ground, and for me that looks like, I've never been in that position, you have, that looks like the last thing you would choose to do in that set of circumstances.
It's fear factor and overthinking things. What you've got to do every time on a football pitch is transfer the pressure to the opposition. What he done, he's ended up being chased down, and the sheer panic of Lukaku being in behind him and the nervousness of that made him make a decision that wasn't the right one. Stay on your feet. He was first to the ball, no panic, knock it back to your goalkeeper. He didn't do that, he panicked, and with that panic went to ground. Once you go to ground, if you don't get it right, you've got no second chance. But I've got to say, Lukaku's pass in with the outside of his left foot, he gift-wrapped a goal for Tielemans magnificently.
That was world-class, wasn't it? And still a Chelsea player, may I remind everybody. To be fair, in the breaking play just before half-time, Pickford and his defenders, along with Declan Rice, the captain, had a big chat trying to sort things out. Who knows if there'll be personal changes in the second half. Let's talk about Ivan Toney's penalty. In his career, he's taken 32, he's scored 30, he's missed 2. They're always on target. The 2 that were missed were saved, one by Nick Pope in April last year and another by the then Barnsley keeper Adam Davis in October 2018. He's now Sheffield United's third choice keeper, which is when you know you need to do something with your career, I think. But they're always on target, and he looks so cool taking that. It was almost like the whole ground knew there was no doubt it was going to hit the back of the net. I just want to let people know that's his first penalty since April last year, and that's pressure on him, not just in an England jersey, at Wembley, first start, got to get back into the game. Hasn't taken a penalty for nearly a year.
Well, we talked about Dunk recently, about going to ground and probably panicking because he had a striker coming in behind him and the nervousness. The total reverse to that is what Ivan Toney's body language portrays. Every ball that's come up to him today in the first half, his touch has been magnificent. There's no panic with who's coming in behind him, defenders-wise. He's got chesting things off, laying them off with a great first touch. And his first 45 minutes here has been absolutely wonderful. He's helped get the penalty, let alone scoring it. He's helped get the penalty with his movement and got inside as well as his set-up play. I think he's had a beautiful half.
Quick question about set pieces. 2018 World Cup under Gareth Southgate, England set a new record for goals from set pieces with 9. Carried that through. Qatar set pieces, we know they're a big problem for opponents. We look at on Saturday we look bad from set pieces. Tonight we've looked poor from set pieces as well. What's going on?
Well, to be fair, we'll have to quantify the fact that Bowen's headed one in from a corner, so Dunk's headed it back. That's worked really well. So we have actually scored from a set play this half. But it's something that I think England can do a lot better at because we've proved we can, and it might just be the game changer going forward.
England trailed by 2-1. It's been a better performance, I think, going forward. Defensively, a few problems, well, a lot of problems, and they've got to put those right, certainly before the Euros this summer. Are Wales going to be at those Euros? Let's head to the Cardiff City Stadium roundup. The first 45 minutes of the game tonight with Dean Saunders and Lawrence Moore.
Yeah, at the break, it's Wales 0, Poland 0. Look, a cacophony of noise and passion and flares before kick-off. But the game has been tight and nervy in this winner-takes-all clash. Fair to say, though, the best opportunities have fallen for Wales. Set pieces have seen the home side create havoc. Davis heading over, Moore with his shirt being gripped, headed wide, and then a long throw-in. Rodon's flick at the front post, not quite finding Moore at the back. And then right on half-time, Rob Page's men thought they'd made the breakthrough. Moore winning a back post header from a Wilson cross. Captain Ben Davis heading home right on the edge of the 6-yard box, but for the second successive game, Davis goal ruled out by VAR for offside. Look, not much created in the way for Poland, Dean. They've been dangerous from a few crosses, but what would you be happy if you were Rob Page after that first half?
Yeah, I'd be more happy than the Polish coach. I mean, they look like they're there ready to get beat. They're sitting there waiting for it to happen. You know, like as you come in as a coach and it's your team. If I was the Poland coach, I would be saying to him now, listen, are you just going to wait for them to beat us? Because that's what it looks like. Wardy in goal's not had anything to do, really. They've had a couple of crosses that have gone across the face of the goal, but Poland have been poor. It's a nervy occasion. We look like we can score from a set play, and I'm not so sure whether Ben Davis was offside for the goal. I mean, Connor Roberts right on half-time goes over to take a long throw, throws it short. Nico Williams dinks it to the back post, header back across the face. Ben Davis heads it in. Looks like a perfect goal, but it was tight. Well, we didn't see any lines on the screen, and we couldn't tell, but they made a decision quick. But if I was Robert Page now, I'd just say, keep going, lads. We've got Kiefer Moore in the team. It does look slightly different today. It looks like Ampadu and Jordan James are getting a lot of the ball in front of our back three. And it looks like we haven't got a plan when we get near their box, and Kiefer Moore keeps running out the box. I'd be saying to him, stay in the box, let Brennan Johnson get in the channels, let us set it up, and you get on the end of the cross, because he looks like he's got too much for him.
Yeah, look, one chance where Harry Wilson got down to the byline, flicks it into the middle, and Moore had already pulled out beforehand and hadn't been able to get himself back into the centre to score.
Yeah, we've not seen enough of Harry Wilson. If he plays well this half, we'll win.
Great stuff. Now, listen, we're going to go and grab a cuppa, try to relax a little bit, Aid, but a big 45 to go for Wales. Wales 0, Poland 0.
Good luck, Wales. Iceland 1-0 up against Ukraine in Poland at half-time in one of the other playoffs, and Georgia knocked out Greece earlier. Georgia on their way to the Euros. They beat them on penalties 4-2 after a 0-0 draw. What's happening in the friendly at Hampden Park at half-time, David Tanner?
Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 1, and Scotland were booed off at half-time. They've dominated possession, but it's Michael O'Neill's side who lead through a cracking goal by Liverpool defender Conor Bradley. Northern Ireland scored with their first definite goal after 32 minutes. Nathan Patterson won the ball comfortably in the Scotland defence, but the Everton fullback was overly intricate with his pass out. Conor Bradley intercepted, made space, and launched one into the postage stamp top right-hand corner. Angus Gunn had no chance. It should have been 2. Patterson again involved, dispossessed on an attacking run. Northern Ireland countered, and Shea Charles should have scored, but his shot went wide with the Scotland goal exposed. Scotland lost Andy Robertson to what looked like an ankle injury. He was down for 2 extended periods on 2 occasions and limped up the tunnel. A concern for Steve Clarke tonight, and Liverpool against Brighton on Sunday. Half-time, Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 1.
And here at Wembley, still raining. England trail by 2-1. They look better going forward. They look terrible at the back, but they did end the half with a back 4. Unlikely any of them will be starting when everybody's fit, if everybody's fit, at the Euros this summer. Second half coming next on Talksport.
Kick-off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Your home. Warm and comfy. There's nowhere quite like it. But just how cosy could it really be? Making energy-efficient, sustainable upgrades could save you money on bills, lower your carbon footprint, and make it even tastier. Get the most out of your home by installing cavity wall, roof and loft insulation, solar panels, and a heat pump. Find out what upgrades would benefit your home at gov.uk/energy-efficient home. Eligibility criteria apply.
This Easter at Morrison's, get a fresh whole salmon prepared by our Market Street fishmongers for $7.99 per kilo when you scan your More card. That's more Easter crowd pleasers.
More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
Majority of stores subject to availability. Excludes online and Morrison's daily. Without More card, $13.50 per kilo. Ends 31st of March.
Specsavers. Book an eye test online.
Has anyone got any long trousers I could borrow?
I've only got a bikini, Andy.
Businesses across the land. Whatever kind of business you're in, BT's got your back. We're talking small business, big business, new business, old business.
Top secret business?
Well, that's your business. But yes, global business, serious business, family business.
What about show business?
Yes, all the businesses. So whatever your business, let us take care of business with our secure and reliable connectivity. BT's got your back. Search BT's got your back.
Gotta be the OG McChicken, if you know you.
Whoa. This McSpicy is actually
a classic. McNuggets, barbecue sauce, it's peak.
Lunchtime, time for a McCrispy.
We've got a bit of something for everyone. McDonald's, chicken that hits different. Served after 11 a.m, subject to availability.
Let's join Barry live for the build-up to this monumental match. What's your prediction?
You know, I've been watching this team for a very long time, Steve, and I can tell you now, score will be 3-1, there'll be over 9 corners, and the Frenchman will score a header.
Very specific, Barry.
It's Bet Builder from LiveScore Bet, mate. You can combine markets from thousands of options to create your own bet, or if you can't make up your mind, you can choose from the pre-built quick bet options.
Which is exactly what you did, isn't it?
Bet Builder from LiveScore Bet. Building a bet just got easier. Full account terms apply. Bet responsibly. 18+, begambleaware.org.
There's plenty of things you wish could go on for longer. An encore at a great gig. Or celebrating that stoppage time winner. But what about your paint? Johnston's Trade Cover Plus Final Matte now goes even further. The improved formula gives you superior opacity, greater coverage at 17 square metres per litre, and advanced flow for easier application. Meaning your tin of Johnston's Trade paint now goes on for longer. Cover Plus. It's in the name. Find out more at johnstonstrade.com. Superior compared to the previous Cover Plus formulation.
Holly cinched it.
Yes!
The Pollitt family have cinched it. Yep, the nation have cinched it by buying their perfect car online. With helpful financing options and an instant online part exchange price for your old car. Plus a guarantee for the price quoted. So with financing options, an instant online valuation and a guaranteed part exchange price, join the nation in absolutely cinching it. Search Cinch and buy your next car today. Guarantee subject to car's accurate description. T's and C's apply.
Host the roast with Lidl this Easter. Get our British beef joints from $5.99 a kilo, a large gammon joint for $4.49 a kilo, and a leg of lamb from only $5.69 a kilo. That's a cracking Easter with Lidl. Now that's big on quality and always Lidl on price. Subject to availability, selected stores, GB only.
And you join us here for the Coral All Kinds of Fans chase. And they're off. And it's Top Hat and Tails taking an early lead, followed by the bloke who's really done his homework. And here come the ladies in enormous hats. Magnificent. But it's the guy who's not sure which jockey's colours are his, who's out in front. And yes, he's won. His mates are telling him now he doesn't believe them. Classic.
Whatever kind of racing fan you are, don't miss the Coral Daily Download every morning from 6 on the Superstar Breakfast on Talksport with Coral. We're here for it. 18+, BeGambleAware.org.
From the touchline to the terraces.
Across the face and goal and in.
Kick-off international special.
What a moment!
On Talksport.
Half-time here at Wembley, England 2-1 down, over 80,000 in here. Flags of Leicester and Port Vale and others away to our left. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+, BeGambleAware.org.
So England 2-1 down to Belgium. England are 23-10 to win. Belgium are 5-4. The draw is 2-1. Jude Bellingham to score any time was 7-2. That's been price boosted to 4-1. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+, BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+, BeGambleAware.org.
Easter weekend, next weekend. Just keep it on Talksport. We'll guide you through everything Good Friday around the grounds in the EFL from 1 o'clock. I'll be hosting the show from Huddersfield against FA Cup semi-finalist Coventry. Meantime on Talksport 2, it's a strong Good Friday. 4 commentaries in a row. Leicester can go back top at lunchtime as they head to Bristol City. There's a huge relegation clash at 3 as QPR take on Birmingham. It's a game affecting both ends as Blackburn host Ipswich at 5:30. And then at 8, Leeds United, currently top of the Championship, go to Watford, now managed by Tom Cleverley. Similar thing on Easter Monday, April the 1st. That's this coming Monday, around the grounds on Talksport from 1. I'll be at playoff chasing West Brom against Watford. We'll have all the goals as they go in across the EFL and the National League. And on Talksport 2 at lunchtime, it's commentary of Leicester against Norwich, 2 of the top 6, followed by a gigantic relegation clash as Stoke face Huddersfield at 3. Then the Championship commentaries switch to Talksport at 5:30. It's Ipswich Southampton, followed by Leeds Hull at 8 o'clock. That's Easter weekend on Talksport. There are over 50 commentaries on the Talksport network in the month of April. Just keep it right here. Players are out for the second half. Belgium lead by 2-1 in the rain. It's live on Talksport with Stuart, Pearce and Jim Proudfoot.
And the England players, as they come back out for the second half, fresh shirts for them. They've removed the names from their shirts for this second half. That's to draw attention to how people living with dementia may lose some precious memories, even the names of their favourite football players. Memory loss, just one symptom of dementia tonight, actually an Alzheimer's Society International, which is raising awareness of dementia symptoms and the benefits of getting a diagnosis as well. You can visit alzheimers.org.uk/sports to find out more. We are back underway. England in the dark brazen, kicking from right to left in the second half. No changes in personnel, nor for Belgium, who in their sky blue shirts and red shorts have possession with Yuri Tielemans, who's on a hat-trick, played forward towards Romelu Lukaku, and a Doku left-hand side of the penalty area, and he looked to try and play it back towards Lukaku. Declan Rice was there first and cleared his lines. Stuart, are you surprised that we haven't seen 45 minutes for Jarrad Branthwaite in this second half?
In all honesty, Jim, if I put me England manager's hat on, or manager's hat on, let's say, to actually make a change and take Lewis Dunk off, will absolutely destroy him at this stage. I think personally what I would do is probably give him another 15 minutes and then make that change, I've got to say. I'd like to see Branthwaite come on the pitch. I think he's done some really good things for Everton this year, and I think probably Lewis has not done particularly well tonight.
Tayat playing the ball forward down the Belgian left, finds Doku to Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans 25 yards outside the penalty area, goes behind square for Onana. He will invite the right back Castagna forward. Castagna square to Leandro Trossard, but the Arsenal man rolling it inside the penalty area, will just play it safely from an England perspective into the hands of Jordan Pickford. Foden will bring the ball forward, but he can't play a decent ball forward towards Ivan Toney, scorer of the England goal in the first half. And a free kick is given Belgium's way. So England lining up Pickford in goal, Gomez, Konsa, Duncan, Chilwell the back four. Gomez coming on for the injured John Stones in the very early stage of the game. Mainoo's shown up well alongside Rice in the midfield. Bowen, Bellingham and Foden, and then Toney, the goal scorer, leading the line, and scored with a penalty in the 17th minute. Belgium settles in goal for Stania de Bas, Vertonghen, Theat, Nana, Mangala and Tielemans have scored their 2 goals, and then Doku, Lukaku and Trossard. Here is Tielemans again, just clipping the ball forward from inside the penalty area, straight into the hands of Jordan Pickford. And Pickford will send the ball towards the edge of his penalty area, now bowled it out for Rice to be able to bring the ball forward for England. And there were positive aspects to that England performance in the first 45 minutes, but almost exclusively from an offensive viewpoint, not from a defensive one. One of those nights where Harry Maguire's had a good game for England without being here, as Stuart was saying earlier. Bellingham knocking it forward, Tielemans winning it back, Foden to Rice, Rice to Mainoo, and Foden has done well to rescue a ball that was slightly behind him, and he's brought it back for Kobbie Mainoo, and now a shot from the edge of the penalty area from Toney, but England have a corner inside the opening 3 minutes of this second.
I really like us when we get turned and play forward passes. I think too often that we keep it nice and safe and sideways, and then, but on occasion when we do get turned and play forward, we really look a threat.
Phil Foden spots the ball down, takes this corner, left-footed, in-swinging delivery, the heads go up for it, Rice wasn't quite sure where it had gone, Chilwell volleys it back in, just hoping that it would take a deflection. It was a shot that was going well wide, it didn't quite get the nick that he wanted, couldn't find Foden either, and he goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Belgium away to our left-hand side. They have only lost 8 of their last 58 games. They didn't cover themselves in glory at all during the World Cup, where they only scored 1 goal and beat Canada 1-0, courtesy of it. It was a Michy Batshuayi goal, but lost to Morocco, ended up going out, unbeaten though since then. Last defeat coming back in December 2022. Bass just got caught there. A very quick hand of apology from Jude Bellingham, who clipped his ankle. It was a complete accident. Bellingham offering the hand of apology that was accepted for Tom, vastly experienced. It's his 154th cap tonight. And he plays it back to his goalkeeper Sells. Sells will go outside the penalty area to find Vertonghen, and now Theat will try and play it forward, but after Theat couldn't really do anything constructive with it. Doku is being pulled back. He's won the free kick, which has been taken quickly, and now he will motor forward. Mainoo will try and bring him down, and he can't, and still he goes. And Doku ending up putting the ball at the feet of Lukaku, who tries to fashion another one of those chipped passes inside the penalty area. And that was what brought the goal. Couldn't find his man on this occasion, but Tielemans will be able to work it down to Trossard. Castagna making a run on the overlap for him. In he comes towards Lukaku inside the penalty area. England able to deal with it with Dunk, and then we'll play it away from inside the box with Foden, who has calmly worked it square but safely across the edge of the penalty area. And Gomez will be able to play it forward towards halfway, but still England yet to really get a grip of the ball in the game in this second half. They had the majority of possession in the first half, but it's Belgium that have had it all in this second so far.
Yeah, it's been very bitty from England's point of view. Just haven't had the opportunity, apart from that effort by Toney that forced a corner.
You're listening to England against Belgium on Talksport. We're done here. You can hear from Gareth Southgate, the players in the tunnel on the phone, with Jason Cundy and Carlton Cole. Don't forget, every game from this summer's Euros will be covered in full on the Talksport network. Starting in the middle of June, England's first match in Gelsenkirchen against Serbia on June the 16th. They then take on 4 days later in Frankfurt, or moving out of Cologne to take on Slovenia on June the 25th. Belgium, for their part, will be facing Slovakia and Romania, and either Ukraine or Iceland. It's Iceland at the moment, they're winning that playoff. Foden bringing the ball forward. Toney! And It's a shot that's tipped into the side netting by the diving Sells. A few on this side of the ground thought it was in. But a good right-footed strike by Ivan Toney. Well played in by Foden. And he certainly has been one of the positives tonight, Tony.
Once again, Jim, if you look at all our good play, it comes from a forward pass and a player getting turned and playing forward. And I think we just need to do that a little bit more regularly.
Tielemans from the England corner, which was squandered. He plays a long ball full. Mainly got caught off the ball inside the centre circle. And England will take the free kick quickly. That was a wasted corner, England working it short and not to good effect.
Yeah, it certainly was. Should have come in. As I say, Dunk certainly got the physical presence as he showed for that disallowed goal in the first half.
So England have it again with Kobbie Mainoo. And towards the right touchline. Ball back in field by Bowen. Bowen will continue his run. He's got it now inside the penalty area. Puts it on a plate for Foden, whose shot is blocked. A sliding challenge got that away. Falls out for Bellingham. Bellingham trying to get it back from Foden's clever little flick. Now Gomez. Bowen again. Foden to Bowen around the edge of the D. This is much better from England. Bellingham forced away. Tielemans just giving him a little nudge. Belgium have got everybody apart from Lukaku back behind the ball. And England have it within about 3-4 yards of the edge of the Belgian box. Chilwell forced to go back for Rice, and Foden will also play the way that he's facing and guide it back towards halfway for Lewis Dunk. But now they can build on the other side of the field with Konsa playing it out towards Gomez. Now work through the midfield once more for Jarrod Bowen. Bowen in his yellow boots to Declan Rice to Bellingham. Bellingham put under pressure. But Foden to Bellingham again. Foden clipping it, left-footed out towards the right-hand side of the box for Gomez. His ball in, Bellingham with a header on. He's put it wide, and some way wide actually, from about 7-8 yards out. But much better from England, much more constructive and positive, and on the front foot.
Well, Mainoo's gone down in the build-up there in the box, and he's, I think someone's either trodden his foot, claiming potential penalty. But when the ball was put in the box, Bellingham, wonderful opportunity. And he's got another one to go with the one he missed in the first half, this time on his head.
We're just seeing a replay of the potential foul on Mainoo, which I think was, the contact was outside the penalty area. And Bellingham will be hugely disappointed. He didn't score that many goals with his head, but he's actually missed the target by probably 3 yards there from 7 yards out.
Yeah, he was. He had to just check his run a little bit, and I think maybe the curl on the ball has put play to his chances of getting it on target.
So still 2-1 Belgium leading here, and the rain continues to come down. Ukraine have equalised in their playoff with Iceland. Sigankov, 9 minutes into the second half. Ukraine 1, Iceland 1, and Wales against Poland is still 0-0. We'll be back with Talksport's Lawrence Mora very shortly. The ball is out of play for an England throw, which will be taken inside the Belgian half. Gomez plays it back to Konsa. Now Foden, who's much more influential at the start of this second half. Slightly misdirected ball from him. It didn't have the elevation to get to Chilwell. It was headed away by Castagna. Bellingham turns it through the midfield and now finds Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo with a good ball between the lines. Foden trying to flick it around the corner for Toney. And it's cleared, left-footed by Arda Teat. And Lewis Dunk's header good enough to be able to find Chilwell. And he'll work it back inside his own half, 2-1.
Well, I've got to say, Jim, every time the likes of Foden, Mainoo, Bellingham get turned, there's a real threat for England, you know, and you've got Toney ahead of that, who's looking to just pull off into little areas or receive to feet as a bump pass.
Here's Ben Chilwell. He's midway inside the Belgian half, right in front of us. Bellingham to Foden. Now towards Jude Bellingham again. England getting the bodies fall much more readily. Castagna's sliding challenge able to repel the latest threat. Trossard now will lead the counter-attack with Tielemans to his left and Castagna to his right. And those two have linked up. Now it goes back for Leandro Trossard. Tielemans on a hat-trick on the edge of the penalty area. Didn't pull the trigger. It's gone out towards Doku, bottom left-hand corner of the box. Good 1-2 between him and Tielemans. Doku's first left, but he's blocked by Konsa. Comes back to him. And then he turns the wrong way and trying to fire one inside the penalty area. Sees it deflected away off an England defender and into the side netting for a corner.
Yeah, good interaction there, set up by Tielemans, and Fortunately for England, they had enough bodies around and enough blocks around to stop the shooting lines.
Another one of the friendlies tonight, Spain leading Brazil by a goal to nil at the Bernabeu. It's a Rodri penalty there. France leading Chile 2-1. Northern Ireland a goal up in Scotland, Switzerland a goal up in Ireland, and Germany against the Netherlands is still 1 apiece. First Belgian corner of the second half. And it's going to be a Leandro Trossard in-swinger that's well headed away by Tony. That's another facet of his game that is so important, his ability to defend set pieces. England will try and bring it away. Thought there might have been a handball there against Jared Bowen, accidental or not. But Belgium have won possession back. And Bast will play it inside the centre circle for Mangala. On loan at Lyon now from Nottingham Forest. Now let's find out what's been going on in the early stage of the second half in Cardiff. Lawrence Moore.
Wales 0, Poland 0, 58 on the clock. First big chance of the second half, though, went to Wales. Moore getting his head on a Nico Williams free kick, but Szczesny in the Polish goal moved his feet brilliantly to tip the ball that was goal-bound away for a corner. At the other end, we just saw Lewandowski show his class, but his header as well, just over the bar. Nerves being shredded here in Cardiff. Wales 0, Poland 0.
And a free kick here at Wembley. To Belgium on halfway, but Arteteyan is going to come forward and take. Plays down towards the left-hand side for Doku and gets it straight back again. So England with just over half an hour to go to get themselves back into this game, trailing 2-1. They're going to be back-to-back home defeats. They've only lost 2 in 35 home games. They're proud of the weekend. They're going to lose 2 in the space of 3 days on the back of that. Castagna coming towards the ball. Chilwell followed him every step of the way. Trossard gets it, plays it through the midfield. Tielemans has done really well to ride the challenge of Jared Bowen. There's space for Jeremy Doku on the left, and he'll drive forward towards the edge of the area. He's running at Joe Gomez. Tian outside him. It's a great ball through the 6-yard box, but Lukaku didn't gamble. He thought it was going to be pulled back, and so it's travelled all the way through, and England will be able to clear.
Yeah, I've got to say, he didn't gamble, he didn't go in front of Dunk, but you've got to give Lewis Dunk a lot of credit there. He was aware of where Lukaku was and cut off that space across the front of him and made him check his run. Good defending.
Played nearly an hour. 2-1 to Belgium. With Branthwaite on the bench still to be called upon, so too Lewis and Gallagher and Henderson and Maddison and Palmer, Gordon, Rashford and Watkins. And the 2 goalkeepers who are Ramsdale and James Trafford, so 2 uncapped Cumbrians on the England bench tonight as Foden is caught by Tielemans inside the centre circle, and that'll be a free kick to England, and Belgium will make a change. Will very quickly. That's the latest details from the Scotland-Northern Ireland game. Is
60 minutes gone and Northern Ireland curled the ball into the box there. I can tell you that Scotland have just had one of their first efforts on goal on target. John McGinn from the edge of the box, and it was taken comfortably by Peacock Farrell in goal. Scotland still trailing to that Connor Bradley goal. Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 1.
Belgium have made the change. Trossard has come off, and he's replaced by Dudi Lukebakio, who made 1 appearance for Watford back in 2018. He's playing his club football for Sevilla these days. He's got a couple of goals in qualifying, and he's come on the winger to replace Trossard. So that's a straight swap. Lukebakio for Trossard. Premeditated one as well, you would imagine, with exactly an hour played. Here on Talksport, England 1, Belgium 2. And don't forget this April, Talksport Network's going to be bringing listeners more than 50 live football commentaries. It starts with 11 exclusive national radio commentaries from the Premier League and the EFL over Easter weekend. Good Friday sees 4 from the Championship, including Leicester, Ipswich and Leeds as they all chase automatic promotion. Saturday, Newcastle, West Ham, Spurs, Luton and Brentford, Manchester United, all from the Premier League at 12:30, 3 and 8 respectively, all on Talksport. We've got a cover for you in every kick of every game at the Euros as well. Castagna plays the ball forward here. Chilwell to Mainu on halfway. It's back to the direction of play. He's done really well. Turned away from Castagna, who just grabbed hold of his shirt to stop him getting too far. And it's a free kick which will be taken by England. And there have been frustrating elements to tonight. The individual errors at the back clearly will be talked about, and there will be inquests about another lacklustre English defensive performance. But Mainu and Tony, two of the three men making their full international debuts tonight, have excelled.
They certainly have, and as I say, I think there's been far more positives than negatives in this performance by England. I really do. The way we're playing now, those balls through the line, which we've just seen again there by Mainu, the return by Bellingham. We look a real threat when we play that forward pass and get turned.
Chilwell, Mainu, Bellingham, Foden trying to get himself into a shooting position around the edge of the D. Rolls into his right-hand side, and then Bowen on a pullback from Gomez. It just came slightly behind him, and he had to try and stab it with the top of his right foot towards goal. The Celts could get down and make the save.
Once again, all of this comes about by just straight passes and the receiver of the ball just getting turned and playing forward again.
Chilwell's got to backpedal quickly to stop Lukebakio getting on the end of a long ball that is played down the Belgian right. But England are committing more bodies forward in the second half than they did in the first, and they did the other night against Brazil. It has been a better performance from that viewpoint in this second period, but it's just a question of turning these half chances into something more tangible.
Yeah, it's that forward pass, Jim. Just the ability to receive the ball and get turned and play forward.
Sells gets the ball away. And goes out towards Tehat. Run back well by Declan Rice in the midfield. And here comes Ivan Toney on the right-hand side of the box. Pulled back towards Foden. And Onana can get it away. Then headed on by Mainu, and Castagna will be able to clear. Still the pressure is being led by Jude Bellingham. Mainu stops Castagna's ball getting away from the edge of the box. Now they can get it clear towards Lukebakio. Chilwell almost physically manhandling it. The ball is laid back to Onana. Chilwell has to trot quickly to get back into position. And then the move breaks down as Konsa fouls Yuri Tielemans, and it's a free kick to Belgium inside their own half. 2-1 they lead with 18 gone in the second half here on Talksport.
Yeah, a bit harsh on Konsa there. I thought he'd done very well getting nice and tight to his man, and we've got a game at the moment. It's anybody's game, and it's more likely to be England's.
Well, England beaten the other night by a goal to nil, with Endrick scoring that late winner, but the XG suggested that Brazil were at least 2 goals better than England. Tonight, England trailing by 2-1, but the XG suggests that England have actually been a goal better than Belgium. So it has been, as I mentioned, an improved performance in offensive aspects tonight as far as England are concerned. So some positives to take. The scoreline not one of them at the moment, as Lukaku skips one over the bar following a good run down the left-hand side of the penalty area from Jeremy Doku. He's hardly had a sniff of an opportunity, but he's got one sublime assist to his name tonight, Lukaku. And England will play out from the back to find that Lewis Dunk goes back for his goalkeeper. And then Pickford to Dunk and through the midfield again, and it's a great touch on the half turn that will release Foden. Now Foden has got Ivan Toney making a run ahead of him. Foden going alone and still going. Challenge comes in on him on the edge of the penalty area. No foul. Bellingham picks up the loose ball. Brought back down right footy shot comes in from Mainu, which is blocked on the edge of the 6. Toney feeds Mainu again. Back inside the penalty area looking for Bowen. But now when England push forward, they do have 5 around the edge of the box, and they are causing problems.
Yeah, Foden it was who got the ball and drove from just inside his own half, and what I would like to have seen from him is to be more aggressive and go right at the heart of the back line. He dollied around. In the end, he ended up getting challenged and claiming a penalty. I'm not sure it was, but very unfortunate. We've secured second phase there and had a good attempt at potentially scoring.
Well, he's got such a good goal-scoring record for City. 3 goals in his last 4. 18 goals this season, but still only 4 international goals at a rate of 1 every 8 games. Doku trying to bring the ball away down the Belgian left, and he's bought a free kick, and there's going to be a yellow card, I think the first of the game, and it's shown to England's Joe Gomez. We played 66 minutes. Belgium lead 2-1. Wales getting any closer. Lawrence Mora.
It's Wales 0, Poland 0, but Poland are having a good sustained period of pressure for the first time in this game, and a double substitution may be forced on Robert Page here, and we think that Dan James and Brooks are getting stripped. We'll bring you more on that when it happens. 67 gone, Wales 0, Poland 0.
So still 0-0, still the most significant moment of the qualification campaign lies ahead of them tonight. Will they be going through? Will Poland be breaking their hearts? And we'll find out together over the next hour or so, maybe over the next 25 minutes. Elsewhere, still 1-1 between Ukraine and Iceland. A reminder that Georgia beat Greece on penalties to put their place in their first ever major championships. England trailing 2-1 in this. Play back underway. Sells dallying. Tony just trying to get there in time. He couldn't put the pressure on that he needed. It was a poor clearance, though, as a result of Ivan Toney's attendance. And England are one possession back in the midfield. Bellingham will play it out towards Bowen and get it back again. Now Bellingham has it, and just playing it forward with 3 or 4 neat touches before going back for Lewis Dunk. Dunk didn't like the angles ahead of him, and he's forced to work it back slightly deeper for Konsa. Konsa will go towards Gomez, and Gomez will come back inside his own half for Declan Rice. We're exactly midway through the second half here on Talksport. Foden driving it forward. Chilwell stretching out a left leg, able to control the ball, but second touch had to be a slightly chance to try and get it away from Castagna, and it goes out of play for a Belgian throw.
This is an element of our game that we've done better tonight than we certainly did a couple of nights ago against Brazil. Pressing from the front. I think we've done that extremely well and put them under a lot of pressure, and leading to the odd giveaway or useless long balls that they've not retained.
Spain 2, Brazil 0, with Dani Olmo scoring. Here's Jarrod Bowen on the edge of the area. Let the ball drop onto his left foot, fired a volley towards goal. And that ricochets away. Has Teat been able to stop it going out of play for a corner? The answer's no. So England have a corner. Their 5th of the game, which will be taken over on the right-hand side. Belgium want to make a change. Meunier, one of the players who's going to be coming on. The other is the defensive midfielder Franks. The corner will be taken first. Foden again across to take it. The assistant referee just standing between Foden and the ball for a moment by the quadrant, whilst the ref himself goes to try and calm down the pushing and shoving going on inside the 6-yard box. Just over 20 minutes to go as England look for an equaliser. It's a left-footed deep ball that comes in. The goalkeeper got himself stranded for a moment, and in the end ends up with the ball in his hands after England had players attacking inside the 6-yard box, but Bowen couldn't get there. Sells will be able to bolt it out for Castagna. Castagna forward towards Luca Bacchio. It's a lovely injection of pace, trying to get away from Ben Chilwell, who did his best to manhandle him. Luca Bacchio maintained possession. Nana's first touch was poor. Bellingham came back to try and win possession back, and then just hurt himself in the process. He's okay. He's continuing. Oh, he's caught Nana there off the ball. Now that came about after an initial collision between the pair of them, and Bellingham couldn't help himself. We're talking about that really rash challenge in the early stage of the game against Brazil the other night. The red mist just descended on Jude Bellingham again there for a minute.
Yeah, it did. I think Nana made the most of it, I've got to say. Threw himself to the ground theatrically. You're right in what you're saying. It's a side of his game he's got to be careful of.
So a double change here, which we'll see Tielemans come off, so there will be no international hat-trick for him. He's going to be replaced by Thomas Meunier, who plays club football these days out in Turkey for Trabzonspor, yet to play an international game under Tedesco. His last appearance back in the World Cup. He's another player that has scored against England in the past, back in the third-place playoff in the 2018 World Cup. And Tielemans comes off and Meunier is on to replace him. The other player coming on is Franks, who started the other night, the Wolfsburg midfielder who spent last season on loan at Milan. Back on the bench tonight, Astor Franks, the 21-year-old defensive midfielder. Free kick to be taken by Belgium on halfway. We're into the final 20 minutes. And the ball is clipped forward down to the right-hand side for Luca Bacchio. He's got a chance to Try and run at Chilwell here. Onto his left foot, checks, back onto his right, then back onto his left, now onto his right again. Chilwell standing firm, ball laid back inside the penalty area. Vranks will help it on. Right-footed effort from distance from Castagna was well hit but easily blocked. Then teased forward over the top by the centre-half to Bast, but England win it back, and Foden has got himself a throw, which will be taken in the left-back position for England on this near side. 18 to go, Stuart. What do you want to see between now and full-time in terms of alterations to the tactics, in terms of alterations to the personnel?
I think tactically, if they carry on doing what they've been doing in this forward passing, getting turned and driving at the opposition, I've been really impressed with us in this second half doing that type of play. And if they can sustain doing that, we've got every chance of finding a winner in this game. Whether Gareth wants to see anybody from the bench is down to him. And to be fair, I think there's been a few solid performances, even the likes of Lewis Dunk that had a shaky first half, Gomez as well, probably settled into the game a little bit more now.
Well, we are going to see James Maddison in a moment. Still no sign of Proudfoot as yet. England working forward towards Bellingham. Now out towards Jared Bowen. And Bowen gets the ball and then puts his head down and runs at this Belgian back line. They can clear again, and Doku's so pacey, the outlet over on the far touchline. It's a good sliding challenge to win possession back for England, but they haven't had it back for long. Now Mainu gets involved. Belgium bring the ball away. Chip by Castagna down towards Meunier. Castagna's gone out to left back now. Meunier's come on. He's playing on the right. The Bast. Here's Meunier, right-footed, just a measured ball over the top. Pickford didn't know whether to come out or not. It's a big opportunity here, potentially inside the penalty area. It was just laid back and well read by Declan Rice. And then, and only then, does the offside flag come up against Laurent Mangala. England will make the change. Maddison coming on to replace Kobbie Mainoo, and will go back to Cardiff. Lawrence Moura.
Wales 0, Poland 0. Huge decision by Rob Page just moments ago, where he's taken off Brennan Johnson and replaced by Dan James. Not really changed tactically. Brennan Johnson didn't look that happy. Felt that Poland were just getting on top there, and Rob Page wanted to make a change to try and affect it. We're into the last 15 minutes of normal time. Wales 0, Poland 0.
So Mainoo off and Maddison on to replace him. Stuart, what do you make of Mainoo's full international debut at the age of 18?
I think he's had a super game, I really do. He's been confident on the ball. He's got turned when he's had the opportunity to do so.
Now Foden for England. Ball inside the penalty area that is easily knocked away by Castagna coming in from left back. The out ball will give Lukaku something to chase, but Dunker's been able to deal with him effectively. So England bring it forward again. Bellingham, much deeper now inside the centre circle as he picks up possession here. Chilwell to Foden. Foden with a neat turn, trying to take on Meunier, who shows him inside, and Foden will be able to drift forward, just gliding, eating up the yards. Good turn on the left by James Maddison, who checks, can't get to the byline and get a crossing, so he comes back out the other way. Chilwell, Bellingham, now Declan Rice, and on the right hand side for England is Joe Gomez. Gomez, too much on that. Care on the pass, and it goes past Jared Bowen, and a play for a goal kick that Sells will take for Belgium into the final 15 minutes. We're 15 minutes away from back-to-back home defeats for the first time in more than 10 years.
Yeah, as I say, we were just speaking about Mainoo and his contribution. I think in 2 caps under his belt now, I think he's looked very, very sufficient at this standard of play. I really do, and it'll be interesting to see how he finishes the season for United. And I think he's given Gareth something to think about personally.
Do you reckon he's done enough?
Done enough for what?
To be on the play.
That's a difficult one. I think his club career between now and then, we've got 2 or 3 months of the season left, and so much happens in that time, you know. Listen, 3 months ago we hadn't heard of Kobbie Mainoo, and all of a sudden we're talking about him being on the aeroplane and maybe even starting for England. So a lot can happen in that period of time. I think it's important he gets time to develop, but on what we're seeing, you've got to be very, very excited by this young talent.
Seems to be a very level head on his shoulders as well. 2-1 Belgium lead, 14 minutes to go. Play for throw will be taken over on the England right-hand side. Rice whacking it forward, so that the throw can be taken as quickly as possible by Joe Gomez. Gareth Southgate in consultation with Steve Holland inside the technical area. England only made 2 changes so far, with Gomez and Madison, the players that have come on. Still plenty of attacking options that could be called upon. Here comes the Bast, bringing it forward from outside the penalty area for Belgium. Meunier laying it back. Mangala showing for the ball ahead of him, but he's been more than happy to play the conservative pass and go back to the edge of his own box. Now Jan Vertonghen gets it forward. Putting the pressure on halfway, but Belgium maintaining as the infernal Mexican wave just drifts around the lower tier here at Wembley Stadium. Rain continuing to pour. It has been coming down in the biblical proportions since about 5:30 this afternoon. Lukaku's got the ball now. Lukaku getting it away, giving it away. And then Rice winning it back. Just still plenty of time for England to turn this around and win it. And that would be a massive fillip for them if they could do that late in this game. But at the moment they trail by 2-1. Rice held forward through the midfield. Not the best touch from Madison. And Doku in a more central area can bring it forward again now for Belgium. Lukaku made a really good early run forward, but needed Doku to play it first time. Lukaku couldn't hide his dismay that it didn't come in. Lukebakio now crosses it, but that's far too much on that. Sails over the head of Jan Vertonghen, who optimistically made his way forward. And it goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by England away to our right. 12 to go, Stuart, and still 2-1 at Belgium.
Yeah, and as I say, every chance that we can find a winner somewhere. A couple of subs being readied on the touchline. I'll fully expect maybe Tony and Foden to be the players coming off shortly.
Yeah, this is Gordon and Watkins who will be coming on, but no sign as yet of Cole Palmer. Maybe surprisingly. England do well. Good quick feet here from Bowen. Bowen slipping into his left. It's Foden! And he's put it wide to the far post. Another really clear opportunity for England. He's levelled the edge of the 6-yard box, took a touch, steadied himself, got it onto his left foot, fired it across the face of Sel's goal, and wide.
I'll tell you what, Bowen has done absolutely brilliant there. He's gone past 3 players, just nudging it past at full stretch, and he set up Phil Foden perfectly for a shot across the face of goal, done everything right, but left it 6 inches outside the far post.
So Belgium bringing forward again. We'll be back down in Cardiff in a moment. They're in the final 10 minutes of normal time in that playoff. Still 0-0. Still Northern Ireland leading in Scotland by a goal to 0. Chilwell heads the ball away, goes out of play for a throw, which will give England the opportunity to make this double change, and us the opportunity to find out what's going on elsewhere. First in the Cardiff, Lawrence Moore.
Wales 0, Poland 0. We're into the final 10 minutes as Conor Robert launches a long throw in there. Keeper Moore heads it up, and it's deflected wide. Szczesny grasps the ball and brings it to the edge of the penalty area. But Wales have caused panic after panic with their set pieces tonight, but nothing has quite fallen. Wales 0, Poland 0.
And Scotland, Northern Ireland, David Tanner.
80 minutes gone, it's still Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 1, and the Scots have not been impressive in this game. They brought on Kenny McLean, Shea Adams, Stuart Armstrong and Lawrence Shankland in the hope of creating some chance that gets them the equaliser. Scotland 0, Northern Ireland 1.
Now Anthony Gordon bringing the ball forward down the England left, his first contribution since coming on. Mana has to come across and get it away from his former Everton teammate, now to play for a throw to England. The double change, seeing Bowen and Tony withdrawn, and Gordon and Watkins the players that have come on.
Yeah, I think they've been our top 2 performers tonight. I really do. I think Tony extremely good in the first half. Jared has been quite exciting, driving up players, going past people, and for me they've been the pick of England's players tonight.
So here's Anthony Gordon working one inside the penalty area for Bellingham, who can turn and find himself a yard of space in a quite exquisite manner. Belgium headed away, and then Lukebakio with an overhead kick gets it further away, but it's come off him last and out for a throw which will be taken on the England left by Ben Chilwell. Watkins making an early run for the Chilwell throw in what ordinarily would have been an offside position had it not been a throw. Watkins then thinks he's got a corner, and the referee disagrees and has given a goal kick, which will be taken away to our left-hand side by Matt Sells, and Belgium are going to make a triple change. Now we're going to see Fast come on, and Openda and Batshuayi. So those three all about to come on. And the replay suggests that Ollie Watkins was a good judge of who got the last touch on that previous one. The goal kick given, not a corner. The Belgium get it away and slam it straight out of play for a throw which will be taken by England on halfway, so they can make these changes. First of all, Openda is going to come on to replace Mangala. So Lewis Openda, the Leipzig striker, hasn't scored in his last 10 internationals, 23 goals for Leipzig this season. We're also going to see Defas replaced by Fast, and the Leicester City man coming on for the final 8 minutes or so, and Romelu Lukaku coming off, and Batshuayi on for him. So a triple change being made with 8 minutes to go. Now a big goal in Wrocław. Mikhailo Mudryk has given Ukraine the lead with 6 minutes left of their playoff. Ukraine 2, Iceland 1. So they're 6 minutes away from qualifying for the Euros, and they will be in the same group as Belgium and Romania and Slovakia as well. Ukraine 2, Iceland 1. Georgia already through. Wales-Poland remains 0-0. This one, 7.5 minutes to go. England 1, Belgium 2. And your reaction on 03717223344, not just welcome but essential, with Jason Cundy and Carlton Cole after this game here on Talksport. Meunier down to the near touchline. England done really well to win it back with Gordon. Gordon playing it back, and then it was a crunching challenge which came in on James Maddison, and a free kick that England have taken very quickly, with Chilwell going all the way back for Dunk. Let's go back to Cardiff, Lawrence.
Where it is Wales 0, Poland 0, but a big moment for Rob Page and another substitution. Connor Roberts has gone off injured at right wing back. He's moved Dan James across to right wing back, and he's brought Brooks on into the forward line. Dean Saunders is beside himself. 84 on the clock. Wales 0, Poland 0.
Foden with a turn on the edge of the penalty area, and Belgium are able to bring it away and feed Batshuayi. Rice wins it back, and England will come forward against you.
Yeah, it's one of these games in the dying moments that you've got to keep your concentration. We saw what happened against Brazil. We ended up losing our concentration and losing that late goal. We've got to make sure that endeavours to try and get the winner, that we don't leave the back door open.
Chilwell down for Gordon. Gordon's ball into Ollie Watkins. Fast follows him every step of the way. Bellingham slides it forward, but not with enough pace to get through towards Joe Gomez. A good play by the Belgians to be able to bring it away with Doku. Lukebakio then skids one through the midfield. You can see actually the ball is holding up more now. It's the turf is absolutely saturated because it's been raining so hard for the last 4 hours or so, and it's more difficult to judge these passes along the turf because they're just holding up. There's almost a little plume of spray behind the ball at times. Watkins doing well to defend from the front, but it's come off him last and goes out of play for a Belgian throw. 5 to go and England are trailing.
Yeah, and as you were saying, that a crossfield pass by Fast ended up being that slow that Watkins managed to get across and get a block.
England 1, Belgium 2. With Talksport, the Belgians are in possession with Michy Batshuayi, but again it's England that are able to win it back on halfway. Rice to Dunk to Chilwell. And Tedesco, the coach for Belgium, again got a very animated figure on the edge of the technical area, but I think he'll be really pleased with the way things are going. He's going to be in a position to name his squad with his unbeaten record still intact. Been in charge for more than a year. Ball cleared down the Belgian right. Lukebakio's going to chase after it. Chilwell doing everything he can to get back goal side. It was threaded through the penalty area looking for Batshuayi, but it's going to be cleared easily by Lewis Dunk to Chilwell, and now to Jude Bellingham again.
Some credit's got to go to Lewis Dunk. After the first half he suffered and the goal that was responsible from himself, I think he's played his way into this game and played quite well the second half.
Bellingham's been fouled, and it's a free kick that will be taken by England. Bellingham playing a little bit deeper now. And Mainoo's gone off. He's 5 yards deeper alongside Rice, with Maddison frequently playing in the number 10 role, although Bellingham makes his way forward now to join in. Maddison buzzing around, finding Foden. Foden, picture of energy, out to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Ball fired inside the area. Gordon trying to make something happen for England, and then Chilwell is blocked off right on the edge of the box, and the referee says play on. The VAR will be having a look at that. The contact itself might just have been outside the penalty area, in which case a free kick can't retrospectively be given. That was a very heavy coming together, and Chilwell just collapsing to the floor as a result of it.
Yeah, it was. He was in full steam there. He's certainly on the front foot and just run into sort of, for me, I'm not sure that's a free kick. Certainly well done to Chilwell, certainly forcing a reaction from the back line.
Germany 2, the Netherlands 1. Nico Fulcrum scoring what might prove to be the winner for Germany late on. It will be a very good international week for them if they beat the Dutch to follow the victory against the French. In a position to ominously turn things around at the moment, the Germans, the way that they've been playing, and will consider themselves more than dark horses for the tournament itself in the summer on home soil. England in possession in Belgian territory with 2.5 minutes to go. It's England 1, Belgium 2. Foden turning it back away towards Declan Rice. Space on the England left-hand side for Gordon. Belgium defending so narrow that Gordon's probably got 10 yards to himself if they can get the ball across to him with a long switch of play. The ball is over on the right-hand side, though. Foden has it. Foden, the edge of the penalty area. Bellingham coming onto it. Footed effort from him is easily blocked. And then Rice can bring it down, but is forced to use the emergency exit of Jordan Pickford behind him.
Probing in and around the box there. Just Bellingham decided to unload a shot. I don't think it was on. I think two players shut the shooting lane down.
Now Maddison gets it forward. Foden able to bring the ball forward. Watkins is waiting in the middle. Ball got to Van Basten instead, and it's cleared out to the Belgian left-hand side, where Doku has been able to continue his good night by bringing it forward, but he's lost it. Foden driving it inside the box, but Tongan very close to him as Foden goes down and smacks the floor in dismay. Who knows that wasn't a foul? And it's a free throw which will be taken over on the England right-hand side. And still England trying to build up a head of steam and still not really able to work Matt Sells in the Belgian goal.
No, as I say, we've had a lot of pressures, a lot of give and goes around the box, but credit to the Belgian back line. They've done well in blocking shots and blocking angles of shots.
Now Lukebakio to Franks. Back for Lukebakio again. They'll take it on down the right-hand touchline. Chilwell's fouled it. And it's a free kick which will be taken by Belgium. By the time they got everybody forward and taken, this will very nearly be in stoppage time. 2-1 to Belgium. So quickly back to Cardiff. Lawrence Moura.
Just ticked over 90 minutes here. Is Wales 0, Poland 0. 4 minutes of added on time. David Brooks has made a difference. He's getting on the ball. He's just linking up the attack, and Poland looking pretty weary out there as Nico Williams tries to win a throw in deep in their half. We're just 30 seconds into added on time. It's Wales 0, Poland 0.
Olivier Giroud has scored a third for France, who lead Chile 3-1. It was an 8 o'clock kickoff, so 15 to go there. Belgium took their free kick, worked it back. They've now got another inside their own half, and Declan Rice and Anana are just going chest to chest for a moment and having an animated conversation, which continues now as the two make their way inside the centre circle. And we've gone into stoppage time here. There are 4 additional minutes, and that's all that separates England from a second home defeat of the week. England 1, Belgium 2. Tongan out of the left touchline. England doing well to win it back, and legitimately as well. Doku ended up face down in the turf for a moment. No foul though by Gomez. Rice finding Bellingham. Bellingham turning it forward. Good ball by Maddison. Foden trying to get himself into a shooting position. Salah ball quickly hit his hand, went through towards Bellingham, and it's cleared. England have committed bodies forward, and Belgium will run it back, and the counter-attack is on. It's 3 against 2. Lukebakio is unmarked in the middle, and that is, well, it's not quite the worst shot of the day. but it's a candidate. He slid in, he's 12 yards out, and he has, I think, kicked him with his right foot onto his left instep, and it's ballooned away to safety.
Yeah, it was a real tough effort to take first time. I think he had to take a touch and slide it past the goalkeeper. I'm pleased he didn't.
He had so much time, more time than he thought. He's only scored a couple of international goals in his career. Ball worked by England out towards Phil Foden. Left-footed, he's driven it forward for Ollie Watkins to chase. Might have been offside had he been able to get there. Chilwell's got it. 90 seconds of stoppage time, so 2.5 minutes to go. England 1, Belgium 2. Chilwell to Dunks. The Belgian fans, you can hear, sea of red over in that corner of the ground. Their scarves being waved around their heads. Delighted with the prospect here of a win here at Wembley. Foden, he can get it for Maddison. Down to the left for Bellingham. Spins in Foden's general direction, but fast will clear. And it's out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the England left by Ben Chilwell. Chilwell to Dunk. Back to Chilwell. Now through the midfield for James Maddison. Maddison, right-footed between the lines. Foden helping it on. Gordon gets it back to him. Gordon gets it again. Now out towards the right-hand side of the area for Gomez. It's clipped it inside the penalty area. It might break Bellingham's way. Can he get himself into a shooting position? He can't until a left-footed effort deflects off fast, spins over the net and goes out of play for a late England corner.
Yeah, once again, the Belgian back line getting numbers there and getting a really, really good block. He set himself up brilliantly there, Bellingham. Good defensive block.
Ukraine have qualified for the Euros. They're through. They beat Iceland 2-1. Belgium leading 2-1 here at Wembley with a minute of stoppage time to go. But it's an England corner. They're 6 of the 9. It's hitting very deep. Rice heads it back across the edge of the 6-yard box. Belgium can clear. Maddison going up for it. Konsa's touch came after a foul. It's a free kick to Belgium just outside their own box, and that, Stuart, is going to be that. England are going to lose this.
Yeah, it'll be disappointing. I think there have been certainly some good aspects in regard to our forward play, but it's been very costly, the couple of goals that we've conceded, Jim.
It's been a better night than Saturday.
Without a doubt. I mean, you've got to come away, and I think that the two players he took off, if you're looking for a result and the result being critical, you don't take Tony and Bowen off, because I think they've been the two best players for England tonight. But there's been some decent performances. Mainoo's done nothing wrong, and if it's a building block for the summer, there's been some pluses.
Belgium work it forward and then concede a free kick, which England will take midway inside their own half. Batshuayi is going to stop that happening quickly, and we'll get a yellow card as a result. So Pickford will send this forward, and England in last chance saloon. The 4 minutes of stoppage time, only a minimum of course, but the 4 minutes have elapsed. Pickford launches it. Dunk trying to get on the end of it, has managed that. Another header blocked forward. Watkins on the left hand side of the area can keep it alive. Pulled back by Maddison. It's and with the last kick of the game, England have tied it up. Jude Bellingham's first goal for England on home soil, and it's a positive result to the delight, the obvious delight of Gareth Southgate, who comes out and punches the air. The last thing England needed this week was back-to-back home defeats, and Jude Bellingham with the last kick of the night has stopped that happening. 2-2.
Well, you know, results always influence what people say about performances, I think. And I'm just pleased that we've got that equaliser. I think we deserve it on the run of play, without a doubt. I think we've created a lot more in the second half especially, and Belgium have managed to get blocks when we've had shooting opportunities, but they certainly couldn't on that occasion.
Well, it's a goal that papers over a few cracks. It's a draw rather than a home defeat. It leaves the England fans exiting Wembley with more of a smile on their face. A number of impressive individual performances tonight. England much better going forward than they were at the weekend, but undone again by individual errors at the back, which proved very costly in the first half. Their tenacity rewarded with almost the last kick of the night. Jude Bellingham scoring. Ivan Toney scored his first ever England goal on his full debut from the penalty spot in the first half. Yuri Tielemans had twice capitalised on errors. in that first 45 minutes to send England in behind at the break. The Belgians led for an hour, but they couldn't quite hold on. England get a draw in a game in which they certainly merited a positive result. And it's a night of individual positives, but also some individual negatives as well. It is finished 2-2.
Massive celebrations from Gareth Southgate and the coaching staff when that Bellingham effort went in at the end, and it might just save Gareth Southgate from some criticism on the Sports Bar, which is coming up in 20-25 minutes. Get your calls in 03717 223344. I've certainly received a lot of tweets from people saying, how can you defend Southgate after this? Well, there's positives and negatives. The big positive right at the end is that England didn't lose the game, thanks to Jude Bellingham.